don't sit here anymore. I don't sit here anymore.
What's up, Jane? You lost or something?
No, I just forgot where I was sitting.
Too bad. Instead of looking at you every day, I get to look at Ray, our new Filipino art director, surly guy.
I'm sure he's a handsome man. I noticed you guys aren't playing DOA 4 anymore.
I'm tired of that game.
It's the better game anyway. So.
Well, you better watch out, because Richard has been known to steal moves.
Hey.
Oh, by the way, Ryan's looking for you. I guess you guys are supposed to go to Ubisoft today, so...
Yeah, we're supposed to check out Ghost Recon.
Come visit me in one of North sometime. It gets lonely over there all by myself.
No, I'm just gonna sit here and listen to Garnet's bad music next door, so, yeah.
Hey, I don't wanna go to work today. I wanna stay home and play all my video games on the One Up Show. You know you'll be a star on the One Up Show. You already are. Every day, this life's a holiday. One up, 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 one up on the One Up Show. One up, 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 one up on the One Up Show.
Today we saw Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter for the Xbox 360.
We played a bunch of multiplayer.
We did with a bunch of the different guys from the different publications around here. I think the impressions that I want most are yours, and I'll tell you why I want your impressions most. It's because I know it was a good game, multiplayer. We were playing, we were having a good time, but you're the one that's playing lots of Perfect Dark Zero, which is the game that this will offer the most direct competition to when it finally is released.
I can say for sure that this is the game that's going to make me stop playing PDZ because it does so many things that PDZ kind of touches on and does well, but Ghost Recon feels better. One thing, I mean, just on the very sort of fundamental level, one thing I was really impressed with what they showed was the fact that the person who makes the server has so many options. I mean, you could basically tweak any nuance of a role that you want. You can tweak any gameplay type. I mean, if you didn't like a single weapon or
Like no grenade launchers. That was
or no rocket launchers, or
But I mean, it goes beyond.
It goes way beyond. Like stuff that
Halo.
you would take for granted, like force respawn. Should you force respawn? I mean, in how long?
How long should the times be?
Invulnerability, and they said that there's over 1,000 different combinations. So if you play in a server and you don't like certain settings, then you can always jump into another one.
Well, you also didn't like the character model on the screen, so you always play in first person. And one thing I do have to say that I was a little bit disappointed that, and it's funny too because the Xbox version of GRA has the gun model in first person. In fact, it's only a first person game, whereas the 360 version has just the standard Ghost Recon reticle.
In the past few months, I've really, ever since Resident Evil and seeing Gears of War and getting to play little bits of that, I'm really getting into the over-the-shoulder perspective, and I like the way that it controls in this game. I like that you can hit the R button at any time to move your character to either side. It makes it very easy to view around corners, and you still get all the emotional detail from seeing your character.
Very lucky to check out exclusive footage of the single-player campaign, and I mean,
all the game takes place in the city of Mexico City. It's all outdoors in the city, so it's this really cool squad-based urban combat. And this level takes place in this part of the city, and this level takes place over here. And what they're going to try to do is have these Black Hawk helicopter rides that take you between the levels, so that instead of a loading screen where it's like, hey, I'm loading, you get to basically fly to the new part of the city in real time. The HUD is very, very nicely laid out, and also it gives you lots of information. It's very easy to tell when you're, which guys are your enemies and which ones are not, because they're surrounded by an outline of color. So all the characters in the game are supposed to be wearing this little monitor.
You're an advanced warfighter.
Right. The advanced part is that you get a little monocle with a computer screen in it.
Right.
And
on the other hand, though, these outlines and things are making the Ghost Recon purists saying that it's dumbing down the game for console kiddies. But that could be an option you can turn off.
Okay, so you saw the the E3 target video. How closely does the single player come to that, do you think?
I don't don't think it comes exactly to the target video, but it definitely looks a lot better than what they've been showing after E3.
You're hard to please.
Well, it's not that I'm hard to please, it's just I'm a graphics whore. But what I like is that it's showing Mexico City, and then it goes into such detail to show like the smog, fog, whatever Mexico City has. If you look at the windows, it's all reflected on the windows.
The game right now looks, man, I hate to say better, but it does almost look better than the target video because
it looks more like a game, right?
You can see it in action. It's real. Like,
It looks like a game you would control.
yeah, exactly. And there are little things like in the target video, the HUD and the green outlines on characters and all that stuff. It drew, like they were animated and they drew in a more interesting way. The target video was very indicative of the final gameplay that we're getting in this game. And
If they ship the way it looks now, I'd be happy with it. So they have to be doing optimization right now. Even the load times have gotten better since the last build I've seen. So
Yeah. Well, they were saying that the reason why the XO5 build didn't look that good last year was because they were using low-res textures. So we saw some of the new high-res textures put in. I was mostly impressed with just how huge the cities were. I was really impressed with how much geometry was going on at any given moment because you could just turn any direction and there were just buildings in the skyline. Like the fact that they got all that geometry in there and had the AI and the combat and all the special effects going on. I mean, we even saw a scene where they had that big building explode, like in the target video.
Heavy's in position and standing by, Captain.
I don't know. For me, I mean, this is the next killer app. This is like the game. I mean, over Fight Night, over even Battlefield. For me personally, this is the game that I'm most gravitating towards because of the pacing, of the fact that one hit will kill somebody. I mean, I don't have to shoot a guy 30 times to see his armor fall off.
the multiplayer looks awesome. It's going to be the game that takes people away from Perfect Dark or whatever other first-person games they're playing on live right now. Unless it comes out at the same time as Battlefield, which is looking like the case.
Ghost Recon is my pace. So yeah, Battlefield.
And Battlefield is technically more my pace, but at the same time, I think both games look awesome. And as a person who likes first-person games, I'm going to want to play both. So
You're gonna like call up your clan and you're gonna tell them to buy 360s.
I don't know. I'm a PC gamer at heart. Not
PC
someone I
whore.
compete with. But I can see competing on GRAW and not on COD2 because COD2 doesn't have that like server functionality that you need if you're going to be competing on.
It doesn't have a lot of things.
Mitchell, I need a sit rep. Mitchell!
Hey, what's up, man?
You got a second?
Yeah. What's going on? Tough week, huh? The DOA4 stuff.
Yeah. It's Monday.
I know.
Dude, what a freaking week.
Such a mess, though.
You know what's funny is that this DOA4 mess, like EGM's name is like right there, right next to it's like 1UP/EGM.
Yeah, I'm like, I know it's our website, but like, I don't work with anyone. Like, I don't work on that level. Like,
You guys,
we don't even do
you guys
strategy.
plagiarize all the time, okay?
Well, yeah,
Remember
but that's a
EGM2?
different. But no one knows it.
You know what's funny is that you remember your editorial. Of course, you remember your editorial in like a couple issues ago in EGM, where you talked about how you hate your industry and all this stuff.
Right.
You were basically on the soapbox, and like that. So that editorial is ironically coming back to bite 1UP in the ass.
Okay, one is like talking about these high-level meetings at Payola going on, and like people buying content, and then one is like your cheats writer, like
Fucked up.
Yeah, screwed up, but
Big
took some
time.
content.
Yeah.
It's kind of different things, but it is unfortunately timed.
But you had a pretty good week last week.
Yeah, we a lot of people are talking about like the Peter Moore interview. Like in this issue, we got on my blog right now it's like 222 comments, just people arguing back
I've
and
seen
forth
some
about
of
it.
those comments, dude.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Just about. I mean, and it's like so distracting because look at these awesome covers that they all joined for, but all people want to talk about is Peter Moore. This is my favorite part right here: is Michael Jackson offering a drink to Kid Icarus.
Yeah, but it was your Peter Moore interview that really shocked the world. You were attacking him like at 9 a.m. Why? Like he gets to
First
work.
thing he gets
to work and he's like having a good day, and then suddenly you're like, why does the 360 suck? Why is your fan so loud?
Well, see, I didn't write it. I didn't say it like that, right? I'm like, just like, the machine's kind of loud. The graphics aren't, wouldn't you be pissed if you're, because he talks to talk like, hey, I'm a gamer, I'm a gamer like all of you guys are. So I'm like, okay, let me present this to you in a gamer fashion. People can say, yeah, you're getting to a point of diminishing returns on graphics. Maybe a game like King Kong, whose lead SKU was on a PlayStation 2, and they ported it to 360 instead of building it from the ground up for 360, and therefore it's not optimized for 360. You can argue all of that. As a gamer, you just spent $400 on this machine. You're expecting next-gen graphics. You're expecting lucid dreams and all this stuff, right? And then you pay an extra $10 for the same game that your friend's playing on the Xbox One, and you don't notice that big a difference. You do notice some differences. You might get kind of pissed. So Microsoft was on the phone with the PR people, and they told me they thought it was a fair interview. Like they didn't understand.
Is he
this
pissed? I mean, did you
No,
talk to him since?
actually, Peter wrote me today, and he said, well, we certainly stirred the pot with this one, but just want to reassure you that I thought the interview was very fair and balanced, as well as somewhat entertaining.
Fair balance. It's like Fox News, dude.
Don't call me that. It feels like about 80-90% of the feedback I've gotten is like in favor of this kind of like just tougher, honest interviews, you know. And then there's a 10 to 20% who are like, you're rude. Like there's even one reader who said I should apologize. And I'm like, apologize to a guy who's not even mad at me just because you were insulted by this. And like that's kind of ridiculous. I don't know what people are expecting me to do. Like, hey, isn't the Xbox 360 great?
So awesome.
Isn't PDZ great? Isn't Cameo great? You know, like.
At least you made it in the Penny Arcade.
Oh yeah, like so Penny Arcade.
Testicles made it in the Penny Arcade. Okay.
My glowing testicles
Yeah.
made it into Penny Arcade. Like I can die a happy man. But they spelled my name wrong, which bummed me out.
But they corrected it. They corrected it, didn't
Did they?
I think so. Yeah.
Let me see. Oh yeah, they did.
See?
Oh, like I don't want people to pat me on the back for this because I'm like, this is what I should be doing. This is my default
You know what you should be doing?
job.
You should be playing PDZ with me.
I think we talked
Tonight,
about this before.
tonight.
I don't know. I'm playing Halo 2 tonight on my 360.
How about DOA 4? You want to play that?
No.
All right. See ya.
All right, take it easy.
Why'd you move over here, Jane? Did Che finally kick you out, or it's too much to handle?
Yeah, you got tired of me.
This is better anyway. These guys are cool. What are you playing?
Enchant Arm.
That's a 360 game by From?
Well,
Doesn't look like a
it
360
plays in a
game.
360, but yeah.
Seriously, this does not look good.
It's kind of disappointing. There are some world scenes that are kind of neat, like you get to wander around the world a little bit.
I hear the water's good.
Water is pretty. Trees and grass and things like that, though, we've come to expect a certain
I
standard.
mean, yeah,
from
even Cameo has
360.
good-looking grass and water.
Yeah, right.
Trees, you know.
And in this one, like, I think there was a preview on One Up actually that said the world feels really lifeless, and it does because there's no movement to the grass, there's no movement to the trees, leaves don't, you know. Remember, like in Grandia 3, when you go into your little village and like the, the
Right.
leaves are like drifting down.
But that game has amazing production values. Six months from now, no one's gonna care about this game.
Oh, you think so? You haven't played it yet.
Just From Software. And I even like From Software.
Yeah, I think the main problem is they just use a lot of the same conventions that we see over and over again in the Japanese RPGs, and it's like for some reason when Grandia 3 uses them, they didn't seem that bad. You know?
I mean, I think Grandia 3, like when it starts getting really conventional, it
Yeah.
kind of does lose its
Oh,
plot
really?
a little bit, like on the second disc.
So,
But
like-
I still think it's worth playing,
Oh, I
and
do
I had a good
too.
time with it. The battle system is awesome in that game.
We won!
It's maybe the battle system in Enchant Arm.
What
It's
is it like?
just
It looked more strategic. I'm sorry.
it is very strategic. There's still random battles, and when you're exploring dungeons and you're like every 5 steps, you're like hit with a random battle, and it kind of sucks. And the battle begins by randomly placing you in squares.
Like in order?
In order.
It's random?
And sometimes, yeah, it's random. And so sometimes you get clobbered. There are some interesting quirks to the characters, though. Like I was telling you a little bit earlier about
this,
the,
like,
the gay
flaming gay
dude.
character.
It gets it's a little bit too much, right? But in this one, it's almost like, he's genuinely in love with one of the other characters,
funny.
and it's kind of,
Yeah.
it's kind of sweet and funny.
And they handle it nicely.
Well, he's played for laughs.
じゃあ誠の誕生日だね。
親がそう言うなら今日から今日が私のバースデーよ Let's change my birthday!
いやいや、それも違うから。
But at least it's not something that's like completely forbidden.
Right.
Like you would never have a gay character in like, well, actually maybe not
KOTOR?
never. I was about to. I think
Gay
right.
Robot and KOTOR.
Do you remember the same guys who made KOTOR? They made Neverwinter Nights also, which I loved. But in the brothel, my female character couldn't get with another female character, and I was like, dude, I'm paying you
That's a big
money,
disappointment,
you
yeah.
hoe. Like, what do you mean you can't sleep with me? Come on.
I think we all would like more lesbian encounters in our role-playing games. But I think a totally by-the-numbers RPG for 360 would be fine if it looked awesome. But
Right.
It doesn't look awesome. In
Yes.
fact, what I've seen looks kind of bad.
It looks kind of bad, yeah.
And if you don't look as good as a good PS2 game, if this doesn't look as good as Grandia 3, then why does it exist?
Yeah.
What's the point?
I agree with you. Well, Yeah, well, I'm gonna play it some more and see. Maybe there'll be more awesome
Yeah.
things about
I mean, maybe
it.
they can fix up if it is coming out in America, which I think it is.
Yeah, I
maybe
think
there's
it
still
is
time
too.
for them to work on it some more. That happens, you know. Sometimes games
Yeah,
aren't
so
done.
what are they gonna do? Write like 20 new cutscenes or something? Like how can they fix it up?
Make better textures. I don't know. But Grandia 3, on the other hand,
Grandia
was a big
3.
hit in Japan and it sold well.
I can't wait. I got the second disc now, so I can't wait to play it.
Well, see ya! Ulf! I swear, I'll get wings of my own someday. And then, we can both fly together.
Yo, Cesar.
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
How was Konami?
It was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of cool things to see.
What'd you see?
We saw got to see Rumble Roses. Got to get my hands on it actually.
Yeah.
Got to get my hands on them. You know.
Rumble Roses 360.
Yeah, Rumble Roses 360. It was double X.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Lots of gameplay, lots of footage. It was just pretty fun. You know, girls grabbing girls.
Did you make your own girl?
No, I didn't get to actually. That was Kimi's goal actually. Was
Oh, okay.
To make a girl, but I didn't get to. I got to play a lot of matches. I lost most of them, but you know, got a great interview with Ryan Payton and Nojiri from.
Oh yeah, Shinta
from the
Nojiri.
team.
Yeah, that guy's hardcore. He like has hit a micro around his neck at E3.
Really?
Yeah, he broke up with his girlfriend once because she accidentally, or she stopped talking to her because she erased his Pokemon save
It's understandable.
on
man.
accident. Yeah, the guy's hardcore.
で、今何を遊んでいますか？
今ですか？今やっぱりまだアドバンスウォーズで
いつもアドバンスウォ
アドバン
ーズ
スウォーズばっかやってるんでね。なんかあれは
アドバンスウォーズ DS はどうですか？
今ね DS やってるんですよ。
あそう
もう全部ワンツーは終わって。
でマリオカートは
マリオカートはね今回ね飛行機でアメリカに来るときに3時間ぐらい待ち時間があってたんだけど、ずっとライアンと対戦をしてて、で最後アナウンスがあった時もう乗ってくださいって言ってんのに
夢中で
ワンマンバトルギリギリ駆け込んだんだよね。最後危なかったです。
そんなに夢中で
ちょっとマリオカートは許せません。面白い。
Nintendo!
Nintendo!
Look at his little game pack with so many things. じゃあ他には何ある？ファミコンは Should we show this? Can you zoom in on this a little bit?
昨日買ったやつ。そう今昨日ねぜひライアンのおすすめで買ったんですけど、エルフボーリング1 and 2。でも両方とも1 and 2 in one cartridge.
Oh, bargain.
So you're working on, PSP game and you play a lot of DS. So do you prefer handheld as your primary form of gaming?
そうずっと前からねもう本当にポケモンの最初のやつからずっと任天堂ゲームばっかやっててねコナミのゲームも好きですよ。
他にはほら動物の森は
はいやってますね。知ってますね。そうアニマルクロッシングですね。あれがですねまた彼女の話でいいですか？あれ買ったんですよ。でやってたらよこせと。Give me your cartridge and DS って言われてでしょうがなくもう一個DS とカートリッジを買いました。
あそうです。誰かさんのシンタさんです。Yeah, it is.
今の彼女かもしれない。今ねちょうど話してたところ。はいじゃあね。
小島さんはほら今ラジオやっていますね。ひでちゃんラジオ。じゃあしんちゃんラジオはどう？いかがですか？ちょっと
今忙しくてちょうどついこっちにアメリカに来る直前にUS バージョンのマスターを出したばっかです。でちょっとね次の仕事をまた考えなきゃいけないなっていうその次のプロジェクトでこれから頭を悩ませてるところです。
じゃあ何のプロジェクトを考えますか？
ちょっとね秘密なんですけど一回日本帰ったらプレゼンテーションをしようかなと思ってるのがあります。なんでちょっとねそのラジオはちょっとやんないかな。
でもシンタさん私がっかりですね。なんかもうガールフレンドあるってもう残念です。私の村へ来られますかどうか。いいえじゃあジャパニーズ。Oh no!
多分ね
残念。OK じゃあまた後で。
Well, why don't you introduce yourself because it's kind of weird where you come from and where you are now.
Ryan Payton. I'm a former writer of OneUp.com, Xbox Nation, best magazine ever. Former boss Che Chou here.
I wasn't your boss. I was hooking up with money and stories and stuff.
True. No, but hey, you're my editor. So
when you got paid?
And when I got paid, still trying to get paid.
Yeah. Still trying to get really?
I'm still trying. I sent an angry letter to. Now I'm working at Kojima Productions with Mr. Nojiri and with the Acid team and Mr. Kojima on Metal Gear Solid 14.
Right.
So.
Well, it's really exciting because you went to Kojima Productions. I didn't hear from you for like 3 months or whatever, and then suddenly I'm here today, and you have your own thing. So tell us about what you're working on.
I'm working on a DVD that's going to be launched it's going to hit stores in mid-February. It's called Metal Gear Saga Volume 1. It's a DVD that's going to be essentially given out for free for anybody who pre-orders Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence.
Metal Gear, a fearsome fictional weapon that threatens the world with nuclear holocaust, serves as both the basis and the title for one of the most celebrated franchises in interactive entertainment.
The majority of the budget on Saga was spent on this package alone. Yeah, it's got silver embossed stars on the cover, and then it's really high quality paper inserts on the inside.
Nice.
And I mean, this is not like a normal pre-order gift, So this is really cool, something I'm really proud of.
Since its debut in 1987, the Metal Gear story has spawned a rich and unforgettable world full of fascinating characters, epic conflicts, and futuristic themes.
The whole movie spans about a half hour, and there's 5 chapters. This video kind of focuses on the fiction of the game, like the narration and the stories and the characters. So we decided to go through chronological order as far as the games are concerned. So it starts with Big Boss in the 1960s.
Right.
So chapter 1 is Snake Eater, and it ends with Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, which
I was watching a video, and it kind of reminded me of like a Discovery Channel documentary or something. Yeah. It was like History Channel or something.
Yeah,
it was
definitely.
like
Metal Gear is so deep. There's so many characters. It goes so like I said, it's so deep into like the story. So let's kind of explain it all in like a 30-minute video, and it'll set up Metal Gear Solid 4. That's coming up. Mr. Kojima actually talks about Metal Gear Solid 4 a little bit at the end of the 5th chapter. So that's something to look forward to. Like it says I'm director of this video. Technically I'm the director, but I'm so lucky because I swear I have the best team to work with. I have Kojima Productions at my fingertips. Right. I've got the sound director the sound director for MGS4 mastered this DVD. Like nobody has this opportunity like I do. Like I'm just so lucky. Hardcore Metal Gear fans I think are gonna really eat it up.
Cool. And I mean I just had to ask you because I mean we are friends.
What's up?
I don't know. It's just it's like one of my friends works at Kojima Productions, and okay, so. Would it be fair to say that like you're kind of his bitch?
I'm kind of his bitch. We don't have that much daily contact, where he's like, hey, go get my coffee or whatever. But I wouldn't mind.
You would
being
totally do it.
Bitch.
You would totally do it.
I would do it with a smile on my face.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
so we're gonna change gears, shift gears. All right. Okay. This is world premiere for One Up. We're gonna you know about Mr. Kojima's radio program, right? That he's doing.
Yeah,
he's
the
doing
podcast.
like a podcast.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do an English version, and I'm gonna do it.
No.
Pretty cool, huh?
Wow.
So this is what we're gonna do.
But don't you translate his blog?
I'm gonna translate his blog, right? And I do that. I'm gonna do it in English, and I'm also gonna just throw in my own stuff too.
Okay, so it's gonna be your podcast.
It's gonna be my podcast. I'm gonna record you for my show. Yeah, we're here at Gamers Day, and one of the things we announced was the Metal Gear Solid digital comic. And so, just kind of curious if you think like you're really into comics like on PSP before.
Yeah,
so I was like,
I still am.
Che's gonna dig this. So yeah, what do you think of it? Or?
Okay, well, I was blown away. I mean, literally, I was blown away. Does the comic actually animate?
Yeah, the comic animates this in 3D. Like you push the O button to kind of flip pages, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, some animation will come, like Snake will pop out of the submarine that you saw,
right.
And then bubbles start coming up, and then text will come up. So it's all like kind of scripted in a way.
So, but it's user cued, right? So you're like, if you're done with this word bubble or whatever, then you move on.
Then you move on.
Okay,
exactly.
Cool.
There's this feature called the library, right? And it's kind of like this Metal Gear Matrix, and the first time you go through, it's kind of like Metroid Prime where you scan different items. So you can stop the comic wherever you want, hit the square button, and you can scan certain items, and then it'll be registered in the library. So you have to, the first playthrough you'll have scanned maybe 20% of all the stuff that's in the actual comic, and so you'll see that the grid is starting to fill in. It's kind of like a big puzzle, and you've only filled in a few of the pieces. Right. So you got to play the second time. You're like, okay, there's a link between Liquid and Snake. What is that? Oh, it's their brothers, Right. So you have to scan something that's going to register that in the library. Every single bit of information that you ever want to know about that game is going to be in here. There's 300 different items on that matrix.
Okay, so scanning is basically kind of like digging for like director's cuts comments or whatever, like commentary by people who made the game on the mythos of Metal Gear.
Right. So the more you fill in that matrix, the more things will be unlocked.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that like there's going to be more of these. I mean, if this is just MGS1, I'm going to assume that you guys are going to cover probably other episodes.
Yeah, I mean, if this is successful, like at the announcement, Konami said that this isn't just the Metal Gear digital comic. We're doing the Silent Hill one too.
Right.
So this is something that Konami is spearheading. Is this putting comics, interactive comics on PSP?
Like Frogger, perhaps.
Like Frogger comic.
Yeah.
You want to write it?
Sure. I don't know. I mean, I wish you luck on working your way up to be Kojima's bitch, because that's a lofty goal.
That is
a lofty goal. I know. Yeah. Let me know though the day you get his comic.
Finally, actually, Jared and his crew rolled in. got to play some DDR Supernova, the newest one. Getting arcades soon. hot,
Who
really
won?
intense.
Who won?
It's hard to say, although I did see Jared collapse at one point. he kind of heaved over and.
Hard to say. Doesn't it have a score? Doesn't it declare a winner?
Okay, they each won a couple rounds. That's
Jared
true.
lost it.
But
man.
Jared.
Like, just say it.
Okay, Jared lost.
I don't know, Jared. I think you're fired now. Just kidding.
I'll see you at National, punk.
It was good, man. It was busy. It was tough. You know, I've got a sore back from holding the camera up. I mean, it's pretty. It was pretty hard. A lot of
tired?
shooting. Dude, it was pretty tough.
Dude, this is nothing. This is like cocktail hour. This is like, yeah. You know, what
We
did
did
you
have
do
for
today? You got
years,
around
but-
eight hours of nothing, man. This is, because I mean, you know what's coming up, right? You know what's already. You know what today started.
Weekend?
It's E3, man. So look, because I know you're new. You're a little new here, but let me tell you something from an old timer. It started today. You think E3 happens just a week in May? No way, man. E3 started today. It started today with you guys going to Konami, and it started with Che and Kimi and those guys going over to Ubisoft to check out Graw. It's already started. It's 5 months from now, but it's already rolling. So it's just gonna get harder from here on out. You guys just be ready to work, man. Today was nothing.